This is a short video demonstrating the mitigation of a denial of service attack that utilizes 3 virtual machines. So our first task is to identify IP addresses of all 3 virtual machines. You can roll out the virtual machines using the instructions from the previous lab sessions or previous videos. So if we just do an ifconfig on the Metasploitable virtual machine, this machine is the web server that is going to be both the target of the denial of service attack and the place that we carry out our mitigation, where we implement our IPTables firewall rule. So we can see its IP address there. If we look at ETH0 inet address, it's 192.168.15.5. If we look at our other virtual machines, we'll see what IP addresses they have. So this is the IP address of the machine that's serving as the legitimate user. So inet address ends 15.6. And finally our Kali machine, which I'm going to use the IP space A command because it's a new machine. Slightly different distro to the one in the labs, but it will do for our purposes. And we can see the IP address here is 15.4. So they're all on the same network, they're on the same subnet. What we can do now is, if we recall from last week's lab, we can launch a denial of service attack using nping. So I'm just going to type the command in. I'm going to use TCP connect and supply a rate equals this is how many packets we'll send a second, capacity, so how many packets we'll send in total, and then a target, which is going to be 192.168.15. Just check the IP address of the Metasploitable box, 15.5. Okay, so we can start that running. If we switch across to our target machine, Metasploitable, and use netstat to view active network connections. That was a little bit quick, I'll pipe that through less. You can see lots of SYN received connections from that attacking machine from 15.4. So the next task, if we switch across to our legitimate machine and visit the IP address of the web server, we'll see that our traffic will either be slowed down or we'll never reach that address. We'll just wait for our web browser to load. Double check the IP address there. 15.5. We can see it's taking a short period of time. It's taking slightly longer than usual for that page to load. So if we move back now to our attacking machine, stop the denial of service attack from running, and we switch across to our web server, our machine that was the target of the attack, we can use IPTables to drop packets coming from a particular IP address. Now this task is related somewhat to your coursework. For your coursework you will be dropping packets on specific port numbers. For the purposes of this this lab, we will be dropping all packets from a specific IP address. Now because it's the third and final task on the coursework, it does require some independent study, so I will expect you to look at IPTables rules on your own time and figure out how to block ports. The rule won't be a million miles off the rule we're using today, it will be similar, and there are resources on the lab sheet to help you with this. But we'll crack on and we will create an IPTables rule to drop traffic from a particular IP address, 192.168.15. In this case 15.4. And this command, let me just correct it, there should be a -4 there, specifies that it's packets that are on an input, so it's packets coming into the machine, on that IP address and that they will be dropped. If we press enter here, well, prompt us for our password, MSF admin again, so we're on that server. And because it's Linux, we're not getting any error messages back. We're just seeing what the IP, we've seen that the IPTables rules took successfully. We can test that rule's taken if we do sudo IPTables -uppercase L. Oh, I need to learn to type. Apologies. And we can see a rule to drop packets from all protocols from the source IP address of 192.168.15.4. So IPTables rules is very flexible. We can specify specific port numbers and IP addresses or IP address ranges, and allow traffic to access resources and ports, or to prevent it. So we can use it to blacklist. So if we switch back across now to our Kali machine, press the up cursor key to rerun the TCP connect denial of service attack. Switching back to our Metasploitable machine, if we run the netstat command now, we can see that we're not seeing any packets from that IP address, that those packets are successfully being dropped. And likewise, if we move across to our legitimate machine, we notice the pages load very quickly because the server isn't the subject of an denial of service attack from the Kali machine. So that's a very brief demo of how to mitigate denial of service attacks. During the lab session, I hope that you all managed to complete that task and research how to filter or drop packets going to specific ports.